In this video, we're going to learn how to take a picture and edit it to upload it to Brame's online art show. It's important to follow these instructions because the quality of your picture is worth part of your grade. The first thing that you're going to do is come over and search for the camera. So we're going to type in camera. Some of you don't even have to type this in. The icon will already be there for you. Then you're going to let it load and a camera is going to show up. Before you use the camera, it is expected of you to make these adjustments. We're going to go over to where it says Settings. We're going to open it up, go down to where it says Timer Duration. Right now it says it's on 3 seconds. We're going to click and change that to 10 seconds. Then we can click out of it. This is changing our camera into a timer. But right now, I have a line through my timer, which means that it's not a timer at the moment. If you have a line going through your timer, this little stopwatch right here, you need to click it to where the line is no longer there. The goal right now is to get your picture as close as possible to the camera. So let's take a look at the shape of our camera. Our camera is a sideways rectangle. The camera on my phone right now is shooting as a sideways rectangle. So let's take a look at the difference between holding your paper up and down and sideways. Here's an example of a picture. It's being cut out. Not all of it is able to make it into this recording in this camera, but if I actually make my picture the same shape as the camera, more can fit in and you can go closer. So we want to match our work to be the same shape as the camera by turning it into a long sideways rectangle. Some of our projects will already be a long sideways rectangle. So you'll just take a picture of it as is. You won't have to worry about turning it. In order to fit your images close as possible to the camera to see all of your details, we will be taking all of our pictures long ways. I know that it will feel strange, but we will fix it later when we edit our picture. So I have an example of a finished project. I'm going to turn it sideways so that it better fits into the same long rectangular shape of my camera lens. But here's a new problem. I no longer can see because there's a paper in front of my face. So what you do is you tilt the paper down and you press the capture button and look, it's counting down, which gives you 10 seconds to hold your head over to the side and get your image into the shot. Now let's take a look at how the picture came out. If you look in this bottom right corner, that is the most recent image that you took. Look, my face is in the shot because I'm trying to see where my picture is, and that's perfectly fine. If you can see your own eye, it means that you were looking to see if you got all 4 corners of your picture into the shot. I consider this a good picture. If it did not come out right, then you're going to click on the X and press the capture button again. Make sure that your picture is going long ways. Some of our pictures already are going long ways. Doesn't mean you have to turn them up and down. We're taking photos long ways on purpose. So uploading your image is worth 10 points of your grade. The steps that we just did were 5 of those 10 points. I'm about to teach you how we get the rest of our 5 points. You're going to come over to the circle in the bottom right corner. That's the picture that you just took. We're going to open it up and we're going to edit some things. I'm going to get rid of the space that has my face in it. It's okay that your face is in it. It meant that you were able to see the camera so that you could fit all 4 corners of your paper into it. That's the goal. Try to get all 4 corners in it and try to show your fingers to the least of your ability, as least as possible. I want you to come over to this middle button. If I hover over it, it's called Crop and Rotate. Let's go ahead and click on that. Then if you want your picture to go up and down, you can rotate it to go up and down. If it's meant to go sideways, like how this picture was, it was already meant to go sideways, then you could just leave that alone. But for this picture, I do want it to go up and down, so I'm going to change it. Then I'm going to grab this corner and pull this corner down. I'm going to grab this corner here, pull this corner up. Leave all of this alone, keep it on free. There are little tiny portions of the classroom that are still in the shot, but that's okay. As long as we have the majority of the classroom out of the shot, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to then click on Done, but that does not mean that we are done. There's one more step that we need to do with this image for us to get our last 5 points, to get our 10-point portion of our upload. Let's take a look at our picture in real life in comparison to the picture on here. The goal is to make your picture the way that it does in real life. Not anything extra, not anything less. I'm grading it on how it looks in real life. Look how much darker this picture is, and look how the colors are faded. We need to help with our last 5 points and make some edits. So you're going to go to something called lighting filters. Lighting filters. Let's click on that. You need to hold up your picture next to it in comparison. The exposure helps to show how dark or bright something is. I'm just going to move my exposure over a little bit. Do not move it over too much, because that's what it looks like when you do too much. It color burns it. So I'm just moving my exposure over to the right a little bit to brighten it up. Some of us might need to move it a little more. None of us need to move it all the way over to the right. I'm going to bring back some of my details by sliding my contrast over some, not all the way. Then I'm going to bring back some of my color. This is where people get carried away. I don't want your color to look unreal. I want your color to look like it does in real life. I know that some of you think that it looks really cool to slide it over all the way, but look, that's not how bright it is in real life. Don't do that. I want your color to match what it does in real life. So sliding it to about there is pretty good. Once I have my picture looking the way it does in real life, then I'm going to click on Save. I want to take a moment to explain why using the lighting filters and editing the picture is so important. I use the online art show to grade. So here's 3 examples of some sketches where I can actually see what they did in their work. But this student did not use lighting filters at all. I can hardly even see what they did. The student is not going to get the same grade as these others. Changing the exposure, the saturation, and the contrast is very important. So we need to go ahead and upload our work to the online art show. You'll see that there are certain classes listed. If you're in my B-Day, you'll need to click in between the columns and press the right arrow on your keyboard to slowly reveal more classes. Let's say that we are in Miss Rochelle's second block B-Day. You will come over to the plus sign underneath it. You will then type your first and last name. Do not type any extra little characters because I will simply have to go in and delete them. Do not type any extra things down here. The grade is simply to have your first and last name. Then we're not going to click on camera. We already used the camera. We're going to click on where it says upload. I'm going to go ahead and hit upload. We're then going to go into our most recent folder, clicking on our most recent folder. And then it's the very first image at the top of the list. We'll select our image, click on open, give it a second to load. Then you will need to scroll up in the program so that you see the word submit. And it says awaiting approval. Anything that you post is not automatically posted for everyone to see. The art teacher, Miss Rochelle, has to go through and make sure that what we've uploaded is appropriate, and then I will approve your image. I'm not always able to approve it same day. I might have it approved by next class period.